Hari Om. We welcome Swamiji with the Purna Kumbh by Jaya Sumani, followed by the invocation by Arkan Sadarangan.
Om न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागैनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः संन्यासयोगाद्यतयः शुद्ध सत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दग्रं विपापं परमेशभूतैः पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यसत्कस्थं तत्रापि दग्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तुपासि तव्यं यो वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य य परस्तमहेश्वरः।
श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
ओम ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणी निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्म विद्वरम् सद्गुरुं ब्रह्म विद्वरम्। अनंत संसार समुद्रतार नौकायिताभ्यां गुरुभक्तिदाभ्यां वैराग्य साम्राज्यपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां कवेत्ववाराशि निशाकराभ्यां दौर्भाग्यदावां बुधमालिकाभ्यां दूरीकृतानम्र विपत्ततिभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नताययो श्रीपतितां समीयुः कदाचिदप्याशु दरिद्रवर्याः मूकाश्च वाचस्पतितां हिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नालीकनिकाश पदाहृताभ्यां नानाविमोहादि निवारिकाभ्यां नमः जनाभीष्ट ततिप्रदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नृपालिमौली व्रजरत्नकान्ति सरेद्विराज झषकन्यकाभ्यां नृपत्वकाभ्यां नतलोकपङ्क्ते नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां आपान्धकारार्क परम्पराभ्यां तापत्रयाहीन्द्र खगेश्वराभ्यां जाड्याब्धिसंशोषणवाडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां शमादिषट्टक प्रदवैभवाभ्यां समाधिदाना व्रतदीक्षिताभ्यां रमाधवान्धी स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां स्वार्चापराणाम् अखिलेष्टदाभ्यां स्वाहा सहायाक्ष धुरन्धराभ्यां स्वान्ताक्ष भाव प्रदपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां कामादिसर्प व्रजगारुडाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्य निधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां
Hare Om Swamiji. On behalf of Sevikas Manjuji Malkani, Anjali Ji Dalal, and Vinita Ji Asrani, and all the class members, we welcome you with humble prostration. The subject of today's talk is one that all of us have unsuccessfully grappled with over years and lifetimes. So you can just imagine how eagerly we have been waiting for you to enlighten us on the mantra for happiness. We are very grateful for your time. Thank you, Swamiji.
Om Shri Tapovana Paramagurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om, and my salutations to everyone. So, first of all, congratulations to Manju ji, Vinita ji, Ritika, for keeping your classes inspired, for taking Puja Gurudev's vision forward. And I do hope that some of your class members already must be taking some study classes, and more will be ready to take up more classes, new classes. That is our sadhana, to study and reflect. When we take a class, that becomes our manan sadhana. And just like Gurudev created a platform, you have to create a platform for the class also. In the sense, sometimes it happens that, one says that I am ready to take class, Swamiji, people are not there. Did Gurudev say that? Did he say that I am ready to take but nobody is there? He found few people, he started, and then from there it grew. So for our sadhana we have to do. So we have to find out who are the people interested, uninterested also, and then start the class. Okay, Anjali ji, your class also is there. Oh, very good. So all the four of you, all the four Sevikas, my hearty congratulations to all of you. To sustain the classes over a period of so many years is not easy, and to keep them going continuously, and in and through the pandemic especially. So very well done to all of you. And I also appreciate those who have taken the efforts to learn the chanting, what we just heard about the Purna Kumbha and the Guru Paduka Stotram, and those who are going to further chant also. So everyone who has put efforts to teach them, those who have learned, I appreciate both of them. Chanting also is one very important part of a seeker's life. Especially what we memorize will be with us, not only in this life, next life also. What is remaining in books will remain in the books only. But what is in the mind, that comes forward with us. And when we want to contemplate, then what we remember is what, when we close our eyes, we can recollect and contemplate upon. So memorizing has an important role in sadhana. So congratulations to everyone who has put in that effort. Now the topic is happiness. How can happiness be the mantra of my life? So first of all, what is the meaning of a mantra? A mantra means that by reflecting upon which we overcome our negativities. That is called as a mantra. Mananat trayate iti mantra. That which protects a person. When we chant the mantra, the person's mind is protected. Negativities don't overwhelm the person. There is positive attitude. There is connection to the divine. That is called as a mantra. So one has to reflect upon that mantra, the meaning of that mantra, the connection of that mantra with who we are, with a deity that is represented by that mantra. So mantra, of course, is a technical term in spiritual science. There is a deity associated with it. There is a way to chant it. There is a meter in which it is written. There is a power of the mantra. So that's a technical part. And mantra also means mantarayati, that which helps us to transcend the mind also. Now, happiness as a mantra, technically as per spiritual principles, it is not a mantra, but that's a way of putting the topic, that how can we reflect upon happiness, how can we experience happiness. So what is happiness actually? If we analyze the word happiness, it comes from the word hap, And hap means chance and fortune, which can be good or bad. So whatever is happening to me, good or bad, to be able to accept that is called happiness. That's the meaning of the word happiness. To accept whatever good or bad is coming to me by chance, by my effort, whatever may be the reason, to be with whatever is happening right now in the mode of acceptance is called happiness. So happiness has to be the mantra, means acceptance has to be my mantra. To learn to accept life as it comes. I may have different responses for different situations that life brings. But happiness is that state of acceptance, that this has happened. First, I have to accept that. If I don't accept a situation, there is continuous resistance, agitation. Generally, when we use the word happiness, we think of excitement and pleasure and enjoyment. And one says, Swamiji, I went to Maldives and what a happy time I had. And I ate this particular food and I was with this particular person and I tried this new thing and lots of things. One feels, oh, that was so exciting, that was so nice, that was so amazing. We equate a lot of these to happiness. And no doubt they can bring happiness by themselves in a limited way. But actually, the word for happiness in our culture, in Vedanta especially, is Sukham. Simple word is Sukham. So kham means space. And su means good space. Su means good. So Sukham means good space. So when our mind is filled with goodness, that is happiness. And when acceptance is there in life, then there is goodness in life. There is positivity. One feels happy. If the mind is disturbed with negative thoughts, impurities, resistance, one doesn't like oneself, one is continuously fighting with others, then there is no happiness. So simple meaning of happiness is Sukham. Now how to experience that Sukham? Is it this Sukham that we want, which is opposite of Dukkha? Sukha and Dukkha. Good space, opposite bad space. Happiness, opposite sorrow. We do experience this Sukha so many times in life, and with that Dukkha also comes. But our quest is actually not for this alone. Our quest is for Param Anand. That is called bliss. We all seek bliss. But many times we confuse it with just the temporary pleasure or temporary happiness. This temporary pleasure or temporary happiness is caused. Some sense object, some person, some situation must be there. Then I will feel happy. If it is removed, I feel unhappy. Also, it starts diminishing. First Rasgulla I eat is so amazing. Is equal to Brahmananda only. After so long I am eating this Rasgulla. Aha. I was on a diet for such a long time, and the dietitian, she told me everything I can eat but still lose weight. But after that, she put so many rules. I could not eat this. Today is my cheat day. Aha. I lost some 6 kilos and I'm very happy. Going to eat first Rasgulla. Is equal to Brahmananda. Second, third, fourth, then slowly that happiness reduces. So that temporary pleasure, temporary happiness reduces. It is not the same. And at some point one reaches saturation, so one doesn't want it anymore. In fact, if it continues beyond that point, that same thing becomes source of pain. And it also leaves a craving. I want more of it later on. So at some other point in time, again I will crave for it. So it leaves a vasana. Generally, we think that the more of this pleasure we get, life will be full of happiness. Permanent happiness we will get by experiencing lots and lots of moments of temporary pleasure. But Vedanta says that does not happen. Bliss is our true nature, and till we don't experience that, we will not feel fulfilled. There will be always some emptiness, and that emptiness is what the craving is for. So the emptiness is felt after some time. So again, there's a craving. I fulfill it. Again, for some time, I'm happy. Again, there's an emptiness. Again, there's a craving. So this goes on. A mantra should be such that it takes the mind across, meaning it makes the mind fulfilled. So happiness is the most fundamental pursuit of all the creatures, not only of human beings. Every jiva wants happiness. And which happiness? Not temporary pleasure. Param Ananda one wants. We do some things for happiness. We avoid certain things for happiness. We do certain things differently also for happiness. Now, one question, is happiness the goal of life or the means of life? Is happiness the goal or the means? You can answer in the chat. What is it? Goal or means? Both. Anyone else? Have you not heard that famous saying, happiness is not the destination, it is in the journey? So then it is not both, no?
The means. The means.
So is it a means? If you type in chat, then only I will be happy. It is the goal. Okay. Some are saying both, some are saying goal, some are saying means. So, goal of life definitely is permanent happiness that we want. But can happiness be attained through any other means except happiness? Can sorrow lead me to happiness? Can stress lead me to happiness? Can fear lead me to happiness? It cannot. Happiness is both the means and the goal. If we say happiness is only the means, will we travel without knowing what is the goal? Suppose we say, no, Swamiji, happiness is the means, then what is the goal? So moksha is the goal. So what is the difference? There is no difference between Paramananda and moksha. They are one and the same. And if we say happiness is only the means, it is not possible to just use a means without a goal. Where will we reach? That should be known to us. Happiness is both the means and the goal. Happiness is the way to happiness. Temporary happiness, which is quietening of the mind, will lead to permanent happiness ultimately. There cannot be any other method of happiness. So, to remember as a memory aid, the very word happiness as an acronym is what we will see today and discuss various points connected to happiness through that word happiness. So first point, so first alphabet is H. What is H for? There can be many different words you can use. I have just suggested a few. You can make your own acronym of happiness also. That's a good one. Each one can make their own acronym for happiness and then live by that. So H is for holistic growth and integration. Holistic growth means integration, which we call in Vedanta as yoga. So holistic growth means what? We have a body, we have mind, we have intellect. All the three must be aligned to each other. That is called holistic growth. what happens to us is many times we grow with attention only to one part of the personality. A lot of people grow, let us say, at the body level. And they'll go to the gym, they'll build their body, they follow some diet, they'll do exercise, which is all great. But emotions don't get developed. One doesn't nurture the mind properly. The focus of the person remains more on the body, less on the emotion. So the person sees other people also more at the body level and less at the emotional level. Or there are some people who focus so much on the intellect, knowledge, information, knowledge, data, one keeps collecting. Neglects the body, doesn't do exercise, puts on weight, goes through a lot of health challenges. So anyone, and there are some who will focus only on the emotions, who don't bother about rationality, knowledge, etc. Each of us has a certain predominance. That is true, there's no doubt. But the alignment of all the three is very important. A lot of this, what I am sharing, is based on the Gita. So in the second chapter, there's a very nice shloka which says, Nasti buddhihi ayuktasya nacha ayuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shanti ashantasya kuta sukham. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. When the person is not integrated, body, mind, intellect are not aligned. Body is in one place, mind is somewhere else, intellect is gone to sleep. Then steady contemplation cannot happen. The joy of growing at all different levels, one doesn't experience. One experiences only selectively, and then there's pain at other two levels. So in context of the Gita, it is that a person who has not integrated body, mind, intellect cannot contemplate steadily. So bhavana also is not there properly. The feeling for contemplation, the self is not there. So there is ashanti. And the Gita shloka says, ashantasya kuta sukham. Shanti and sukha, they are one and the same. Happiness and peace are same. You know, Gurudev used to say, you try doing this. Be very peaceful and yet unhappy. Can you be peaceful and yet unhappy? That is not possible. Because if I am unhappy, I am disturbed. Or if I am very happy, can I be disturbed, unpeaceful? No, it's not possible. Peace and happiness will go together. Shanti and sukha will go together. A quiet mind is a happy mind. And that mind can realize the self also. So how do I attain that quiet mind? I must learn to align my body, mind, and intellect. Yoga is the first step. Whether I use karma yoga to do seva, whether I use bhakti yoga, I chant a mantra, or I do puja, or I do bhajan, or I do any other form of connection with the Lord, whatever helps to make the mind quieter. I may focus on the breathing. So aligning body, mind, intellect is very important aspect. If I want to be happy, if I am feeling disturbed, there's some alignment problem. You know, like in the car, when we send the car for servicing, they have to do wheel alignment and wheel balancing. Otherwise, you know, the driver who is driving the car will go on one particular side. He can't drive properly. All the four wheels must be aligned properly. So same way, our body, our breath, our mind, our intellect, four wheels must be aligned. Then the vehicle goes properly. And on a daily basis, we have to align these four. So many of you have heard me before. I always give this formula T20. 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of study. Every single day. If every single day one finds it very difficult, then balance it through the week. But alignment is important. And this alignment has two aspects. One is the general alignment of body, mind, intellect, and second alignment is specific in every experience. You see what happened to Arjun. Why did he become so disturbed? Because alignment went for a toss. Intellectually, he knows he has to fight the war as a soldier. His duty is to protect righteousness. Emotionally, he got overwhelmed. So though he was physically capable, intellectually clear, but suddenly, mentally, he got completely confused. So it affected both his body also. He couldn't hold his bow, sweating, shivering, he fell down. And intellect also got confused, completely clouded. He didn't know now what to do. And he started saying the wrong things. He said, it's better to run away to the forest. It's better they kill us than we even fight them. So any one alignment also, any one aspect also goes out of alignment, we will become miserable. So we have to find out what is that which makes this alignment go away. And the main reason will be some attachment. It will be any attachment at the physical level. For example, simple, this Money Heist, there is some show on Netflix, The 5th part of it has released today at 12:30 in the afternoon. Now, there are companies who have given a day off to the employees to watch that. There are some people who don't get that day off, so they will watch tonight, full binge watching. They'll do 5 episodes, they will see back to back to back. Now alignment will go because the attachment to that particular thing, and the way the episodes will be, they will hook you completely. So one will just get stuck there. One has to watch. And the thing is, after this 5 are over, the next 5 will come on December 3rd. So anyway, one is going to be left craving. If the person has little bit of balance in the thinking, one will say, anyway, I'm going to be left craving. Might as well see 5 episodes over 5 days. Why should I disturb my mind? But no, tomorrow in the office, I have to do the conversation. No, I should be aware of everything. Now one is stuck in that. So that alignment goes. Now tomorrow morning when one is doing work, one is drowsy. Exercise one won't be doing. Sleep that one has increased. So you observe anywhere, the moment we go for any attachment, we fall for it, our alignment goes for a toss. So the first point is I should learn to be aligned in my body, breath, mind, intellect, and ensure that no attachments I fall for. Then I will be happy. That's the first point about happiness. And on a regular basis, if I do this T20 on a daily basis, alignment will be good. Car requires alignment few months, once in few months, but our BMI requires alignment every day. Because the moment we go and meet with people, whole alignment goes for a toss. So H is for that, holistic growth. A is for acceptance. What we spoke earlier. The formula for sorrow is what? Insistence plus resistance is equal to sorrow. That is sure short formula for sorrow. You can apply it. If it doesn't work, money back guarantee. Insistence plus resistance is equal to sorrow. No, this has to be like this. This person should be talk to me like this only. How can this person behave like this with me? How can this COVID happen? I can't accept COVID happen. The more I resist, the more I insist, I will be miserable. So if I have to be happy, first I have to learn to accept, okay, this is the situation. In resistance, I will always ask, why me? I will victimize myself. In acceptance, I will say, okay, this has happened. Now, how do I deal with it? So shift from why to how. How can I deal with this? First, I have to accept it. Then only I can think objectively how to deal with this. Even as spiritual seekers, sometimes we have a lot of insistence. Oh, Swamiji, I have been meditating for so many years, but my mind still wanders. How? I can't accept that. What is the point of all my sadhana? I think I am not made for spirituality. Lot of resistance. I'll tell you one simple point. Madhusudan Saraswati ji is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And a great Advaitic master also, and he wrote commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. It is called Gudhartha Deepika. And he did Purascharan of the Krishna mantra, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Purascharan means as many alphabets are there, that many crore times you have to do the japa. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 8 alphabets. 8 crore japa of Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama he did. He didn't get darshan of Bhagavan Krishna. Second time again he did. He still didn't get. He was about to give up, saying, what is this now? 16 crore times I've done japa, but I'm not getting darshan of Bhagavan Krishna. What is happening? One Mahatma said, you have to do just a little more, because the negative karma or the papa karma of so many lives which was accumulated. By chanting this mantra, you have destroyed so much. Just a little is left. You just do that much, you will have darshan. So he was on the verge of giving up, but this Mahatma met him and he told him, do this. He continued and he had darshan of Bhagavan Krishna. So many times it happens, we become hopeless, we lose hope and we say, no, what is happening? But we have to keep putting our efforts. So instead of saying, why this happened to me, I'm not fit, I'm not eligible, one should not victimize oneself. Keep putting the efforts. If any improvements can be done in the effort, that one can do. So the way to be happy is learn to accept a situation and then give the appropriate response. Please remember, acceptance does not mean approval. Whatever is happening, I am accepting does not mean I approve of it and it is all fine. Suppose I incur a business loss, or there is some accident, or there is some terminal illness I got. Now what can I do? It has happened. I have only 2 choices. Either I can accept and then start objectively responding to it, or I can go on fretting and fuming, why this happened, this should not have happened, I'm such a good person, I didn't spoil anybody's life, still this happened to me. One going to go on wailing, weeping, grumbling, complaining. Now this has happened. It may not be as per my liking, but it has happened. Now how do I respond to it? If there's a loss, if I made a mistake, I hurt somebody, now what to do? Doesn't mean it is right, but I have to accept, okay, I made a blunder. Now what can I do? Seek forgiveness, make amendments for it. I have to do that. So the more acceptance comes in life, the more there will be happiness. That's why in the Gita, Bhagavan says that, the 3 gates to hell are Kama, Krodha and Lobha. In that Kama is that insistent, selfish expectation, desire. One has to overcome that by learning to accept. Life brings, it is a pair of up and down. Again, Bhagavan says that, Agama paino nityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Pairs of opposites will come and go. I have to learn to accept them because they won't remain, they will move. So second word is A, acceptance. Third is P. P for positive outlook. The more positive is my outlook, more happy I will be. Even in the most adverse situation, if my outlook is positive, I will be happy. And in the most conducive situation, if my outlook is not positive, I will be miserable. What did Dhritarashtra not have? Think about it. He became the king. And he should have actually given away the kingdom. But Pandavas didn't insist. He divided the kingdom into 2, gave the barren part to the Pandavas. Even after Pandavas came back from exile, they were ready to compromise, saying just 5 villages are enough. But Dhritarashtra was so insistent on his son and the attachment to his son that he completely lost all his children. If little positive outlook he had, he would have been balanced in his decisions. So many times it happens to us. A person may do a lot of good to us, but one incident and we will break the whole relationship, or one statement that person makes, we will hold that negative statement in our head. 10 positive statements that person has made about us, that we will not remember. Even today, when we think about it, even through COVID times, how much challenges, how many difficulties people had, many of us didn't have to go through all that. So much of blessing Bhagavan has given to us. Maybe some plans got delayed, some things got disturbed. So what? That is life. One definition of life is that life is what happens to you when you are busy making other plans. We keep making plans, but what is happening, that is life. Gurudev used to say, life is not what you think of it, life is what you make of it. So how to make of it? With positive attitude only. There will be people who may even write us off. They will say we are not capable, we can't achieve anything great. But if we have positive attitude about ourselves, we can achieve what we have to. So many lives of great achievers shows that. Dr. Abdul Kalam, he could not become a pilot. He couldn't clear a particular vision test, and then he couldn't become the pilot in the Air Force. He was very dejected, and then Swami Shivanandaji told him, defeat the defeatist in you. There is a voice in each one of us which says you are inadequate, you are not capable, what will you achieve? It goes on pulling us down. So in the Gita, what does Bhagavan say? Uddhared atmana atmanam. Lift yourself by yourself. Do not condemn yourself. Self-condemnation is a sin. Introspection to find our weakness and overcoming it is different. But self-condemnation, where we brand, I am not good, I am this, I am that, I am a bad person. When people are young and in the teenage and youth years, one takes pride in being bad. If one is good, it means you are a useless fellow. I am bad. When I was in my school days, there was some album also, Michael Jackson, Bad. I don't remember song, whatever it was that time, long back. So people take pride, I'm bad. And the bad man always is like admired, Even in that whole Ramayana of Ramanand Sagar, Ravan was admired more. His laughter, people used to go on imitating, Arvind Trivedi, as a Ravan. Not that Ramji was not admired, he was, but more admiration went for Ravan only. And nowadays, so people are having that reverse mindset only. They want to understand Ramayana from Ravan's standpoint and justify everything that Ravan did. Ravan was a very good king. Arey, what are you even talking? Ravan is a good king, but yeah, they will talk. So we have to be clear that this is not, this is not the appropriate thing. So P is for that, positive outlook. There will be people who will tell us like that. We can tell ourselves like that. I am not good. I am this. I am that. Happiness depends on the positive self-talk that I have. If my self-talk is positive, I will be happy. Swamiji, but I have negativities. Then what to do at that time? How can my self-talk be positive? If you have a toothache, what will you do? Will you not go to a dentist, or will you not take some remedy? Will you say that I'm such a useless fellow, I got a toothache, nobody else worse than me, I am a sinner, I am a useless chap? Nobody sits under self-condemnation. What is going on in the world today? You think about it. We should talk about mental health openly, and these are not challenges. And why is the world going through that? Because we made a stigma out of that. So now today we have to normalize that. In spiritual paths, it is never made into a stigma, because everyone has the impurities and negativities, and one does not judge a person, condemn a person. One helps the person to overcome it. Each one has to help themselves, help others. As simple as that. A guru also never judges a disciple saying, what a adham adhikari, you are useless fellow, you too will never get mukti. Why have you even come to me? Does a guru ever tell that? Some kacha guru may tell that. Who wants to exploit the disciple and make some money out of the disciple, that guru may say that, but a really compassionate guru to will take that person first who is available. Then sincerity is there, then the person overcomes any negativity. So there is no such judgment, no self-condemnation, because what is our true nature from Vedanta standpoint? We are of the nature of bliss already. What we are seeking, we are. So for many years, if I am studying Vedanta and my self-talk is still positive, is still negative in some ways, that is a big thing to introspect and fill the gap. What do I think about myself? No, Swamiji, if I think positive about myself, ego will rise. So negative thinking also ego only it is. So don't think that by thinking negative, you are humble. That is a wrong notion. Humility does not mean to think less of oneself. Humility means to think of oneself less. That's all it means. It doesn't mean I am less. I think about myself less. Because I think about God, I think about service, I think about country. That is humility. So people think ye bichara bhala admi hai, or he's poor guy is so humble. Are how is humble guy a weak person? The mighty trees get uprooted in cyclones, but the humble grass survives happily. All our teeth, they will fall away, but the tongue will survive. Even in Bible, what it is said, it is the humble and the meek that will discover God. So this positive self-talk is important. Self-condemnation should not be entertained. The moment one catches oneself having a negative self-talk, one has to turn that around. By identifying, is it really true or is it just an opinion? Many times, it is strange. It is not even true. It is somebody's opinion about me. And I'm going on repeating in my head. That I should be very clear. If it is true, if I find, yeah, this is a valid statement that my mind is making, then I must work on improving that deficiency or overcoming that weakness. Just like we go to a doctor for any type of a physical ailment or a mental issue. Because of that, we are not bad. We are much more than that one particular impurity. So let the talk be self-talk be positive. So H for holistic growth and integration, A for acceptance, P for positive self-talk. Next P is for performance of duty for duty. Again from the Gita. All these are from the Gita only. Just put in a modern way. That's all it is. P for performance of duty for duty's sake. In the Gita, Bhagavan says, Tato yuddhaya yujyasya naivam papam avapsyasi. Do your duty for the sake of duty. Don't do it for the result alone. Result will come and one may expect a result and work, but one is not doing only for the result. The growth is in the journey, in the process. It is in exhausting the karmas. So many times one says, Swamiji, I was good, but what did I get? You exhausted your karma, Baba. By being good, you exhausted your karma. You didn't add new karma. Purification happened. So duty for the sake of duty is a very liberating way to live life, where I don't depend on the results or the results of the results. Sometimes we depend not just on the result. We want the praise, appreciation, applause, the feel-good factor that comes from the result, which may be natural to have that expectation, but to insist on that and feel completely dejected without that, that is a problem. So this duty for sake of duty, if I apply in different aspects of life. So if I do exercise for the sake of exercise, how nice it is. But if I do exercise because Nowadays they have, if you see on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, there'll be a person, very lean and thin, or some sports trainer or some nutritionist or somebody, and will be in thin clothes. And the caption there would be, take up Navaratri challenge, that by Navaratri I will become like this and I will fit into this ghagra choli. Arey wah. So that when we go to dance in that Navaratri party, then everybody will appreciate me. It can motivate some people. I'm not saying it should not be done or anything like that, but I'm just saying that compared to that, if I do exercise because it is a duty and I love exercising, that's about it. Then nobody has to push me. I will do it by myself. No, Swamiji, that's the point. I don't love exercise. You know what to do? Then start doing it as a duty, because body needs it. You may have some other goals to achieve. Now, exercise is required for that also. The healthy body is required for that. And if we start experiencing the benefit of that duty, the joy of doing that duty, then we will do it automatically. Initially, one has to push a person to do something, like even japa or puja or sadhana or exercise or anything, even one's work. But if one pays attention, does it well, sees the joy rising out of it, the benefit coming out of it, then one will start loving it. Even food, one may not like some type of food, but if you start eating slowly, after some time you will lose that dislike. One will start enjoying it. So duty for the sake of duty. So if I do exercise for the sake of exercise, if I do my work because it's my duty, I don't want praise. I take care of the home. If people appreciate, fine. If they don't, doesn't matter. I go to office. If my boss gives me some appreciative comments and some raise in salary, great. Otherwise, I enjoy my job. I do it well. If some injustice is happening, I'm not being paid my promotion, etc., that's a different matter. There one fights for it. Same thing applying relationship. If I love people for the sake of loving, I enjoy the act of giving love, I will be so happy. Otherwise, I'm so dependent. I gave you this much love, you didn't return me this much. Then we are doing bargaining business. Then there's no joy in that. No, Swamiji, it's very natural, If I love people, they should love me back, no? They will love back to their capacity. You love to your capacity. If they don't love you, doesn't matter. There are other people who love you. Open the eyes and watch. No, but I want with this person only. That's what we spoke. No? The one factor which does disalignment is attachment. So P for performance of duty for the sake of duty. I is for inspiring ideal. What is that inspiring ideal in my life? What am I looking forward to achieving in my life? A lot of times what happens, one stagnates. Or one is doing certain things, but there's nothing inspiring in life. One gets into a mechanical rut or a routine. What they say, what is that which excites you to wake up in the morning? What is that which you look forward to doing in the morning? Which makes you, get out of the bed. If that inspiring ideal is not there, then one again feels everything is mundane, routine, boring. And then from one place to other, one keeps going. From this house, work 6 days in this house, be in this house, and then drive on 7th day to Lonavala and sit in that house. After 2 days, sit there and again drive, come back 5 days in this house. So one tries to change the environment, which is fine for some time. It will give some kind of a relaxation also, and mind, gets a different feeling altogether, which is all working well. But the real cause will be inspiring. Something inspiring is not there. And that what is inspiring should be based on my swadharma. That I will come to later. The S part will come to swadharma. But find an inspiring ideal. Swamiji, what ideal can we have? For a spiritual seeker, moksha is the highest ideal. Chitta Shuddhi can be an ideal. Cultivating certain values can be an ideal. Service to society can be an ideal. In a spiritual seeker's life, there is no boredom. Ordinary people's life, there can be boredom because one doesn't know the higher way to live life. Spiritual seeker's life is never boring. Learn something new. I'm sitting and making reels right now. Very interesting. Same knowledge, you have to think in different ways to put it, and then you have to learn some things and then do it. I'm just giving one example. What is inspiring me is sharing of knowledge. The new methods of sharing knowledge, they will keep coming. So then share in that way. So something inspiring should be there. What inspires me in life as a seeker? It may be my hobbies, it may be some service, it may be some difference that I'm making to people's lives, whatever it may be. Because even in water, it is like that. If water stagnates, finished. I am told the other day that somebody was telling me that in the house, there is a fridge. Then below that fridge, there is a tray, and the tray collects the water for that when we do defrosting and all that. So if certain old models have that system and water stagnates there, then that BMC people, when they come, they issue a warning saying, this water, stagnant water is what is going to create all this dengue and all these kinds of diseases. Mosquitoes will breed. So water also has to be flowing. Water cannot stagnate. Imagine our mind, we live in stagnation so many times, year after year after year. And sometimes it happens that we feel that, Swamiji, what can I do? I have become a homemaker. My life is, I don't have my life at all. There is no me time. I live only for other people. Whole day goes in children and spouse and family and taking care of the house. What have I to do for myself? I don't get at all. Now two options are there, at that time. I can dedicate that entire thing as my seva of Bhagwan and do it out of love. Or do all this with the same seva bhav, and specific time you take out saying, this is my me time. I need my time so that I can rejuvenate myself. I do something inspiring, or I take rest or relax or whatever it is. But that is important. What inspires me? And the sources of inspiration, if they can't be the same, they can change also. That is fine. Everyone goes through phases. As a spiritual seeker, the seeking itself is inspiring. To fight against the mental impurities, to strengthen the positivities, to invoke gratitude, to connect to the Lord in sadhana, that itself is inspiring. One should not think that is routine, that is mechanical. Anything becomes mechanical only when bhavana goes out of that. When feeling and emotion goes out of it, then it becomes mechanical. Inspiration comes when both these are together. Value plus love is equal to inspiration. That's the formula for inspiration. If I value something with my head and love something with my heart, it will inspire me. Sometimes what happens, love goes out of the equation. Then inspiration is not there. We value it, but we don't feel for it. So we don't even make progress. Like we value meditation. We know meditation will help me, but sometimes love is not there. So we have to push ourselves and meditation becomes a struggle. We value exercise, but love is not there. And sometimes love is there, but value is not there. Then we take it for granted. We love certain people, but we don't appreciate their contribution. We don't really value them. So they feel taken for granted. And same thing happens to us also. We feel taken for granted by somebody who doesn't value us and our contribution. If you apply it in sadhana, we may love certain things, but we don't value enough. So we say that, there are people who love Bhagwan and they will worship the Lord. Lot of love and devotion is there. But they don't think about the Swarup of Bhagwan, the qualities of Bhagwan. They don't value the Lord enough and they don't see the grace of Bhagwan. So they have love for that puja, for that japa, like many times what they do, that full day seva they will do. So they are in love with that full day seva of Bhagwan. They will wake up the Lord, they will feed the Lord, they will bathe the Lord, everything they will do. But in their mind, the qualities of the Lord one is not inculcating. And for small things, one gets very angry and upset. Why this Makhan Mishra is not there for Kana today? I told you to make it, you still didn't make it. You are this, you are that. And the other person thinks, he is doing seva of Bhagwan and why is so disturbed? What is the point of this seva if the person is so disturbed? Why? Because only love is there, value is not there. Would Bhagwan want me to behave like this? If I understand that, what does Bhagwan value? Bhagwan values quietude, peace, selflessness. Then value and love have come together, then that sadhana will be inspiring. So, inspiration. One has to find an inspiring ideal. Whatever inspires me today, I should ask myself, do I love it enough? Do I have value for it enough or not? So that is I, inspiring ideal. N is for negating negativities. Our nature is happiness, as permanent happiness, bliss, there is no doubt. But there are impurities which are covering. Till these impurities don't go, we will not experience that happiness. And even worldly happiness we can't experience because of these impurities. Forget Paramanand. Even the material joy we can't experience when our mind is filled with impurities. For a short while we experience happiness and again that impurities take over. So one has to work on these impurities to negate them, not to justify them. Lot of people think it is the opposite. See, N for negating negativities and impurities, not justifying impurities. Some people, they see, just think about it. All the 6 impurities is the world not justifying it today? Kama, one justifies, na? Totally one justifies kama. Selfishness, so one definitely justifies. One says you can't be selfless at all. Selfishness is the only way to achieve success. And then one is going to be stressed, and then one goes to stress reduction seminars also. But still one will not be selfless. Kama as passion also is justified. Anything is being shown today openly. And then one says, oh, what kind of society, so many rapes are happening, this is happening, that is happening, but nobody is controlling the obscenity. People want to see it. Then how is the mind going to be in control? And young people, old people, whoever it is, especially in younger children, the hormones also are like that, and the curiosity factor is there, and the discrimination is not yet fully formed. How will there be control on the body and the mind? Prashnopanishad, some of you who are attending in the morning, in that comes, brahmacharya comes, and how much importance of brahmacharya is there in that. Today, what is the whole focus on? Losing your virginity. At what time, which age you lost that? That one focuses on that, and that's a matter of pride. So if at a certain stage in life, certain pleasure has to happen, there is no problem with that. But if the mind is going to justify that before, after, and justify it in any adharmic way also, then there is impurity. Why is it that people are not happy in relationships today? Because a lot of focus has gone on the body and very less on the person, the emotion, the kind of individual that person is, what values that person has. That very less focus on that. More focus on the body, how one looks, how one appears. And so many times today's world, it is so terrific. On display profile will be some particular picture with all kinds of filters and this and that, but actually when you see something else only. Gender also we don't know. One was thinking this person is a man full time, and when one meets, one finds, oh, ye to woman hai. There's so much of chaos happening in the world. So kama one justifies, krodha, anger. So much anger one shows in the movies, in the serials, and that will get magnified also. One shouts and that shouting will come in echo 2, 3 times and 4, 5 angles, and one says anger is important. Without anger, I can't achieve things. Greed. Everybody says I'm discontented. Contentment is not good. Contentment will lead to complacency. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, delusion. One is not ready to only accept delusion. That I am deluded, one is not wanting to accept it. That delusion has become normalized. Mother, intoxication of wealth, of beauty, of knowledge, of popularity, intoxicated by that. You know, Swamiji, before COVID, I had only 700 followers. Today, I have 1.2 million followers. How did you get them? I bought them, Swamiji. Very easy it is. You can buy. Intoxication of number of followers, that popularity. And Matsarya, jealousy. Continuously keep comparing and keep feeling jealous. Now, all the 6 impurities, if I justify, how will I be happy in life? One lady was there. Her husband was very happy. You know, they won a contest. The finals of a particular contest they won, and they got in the first prize which they won, they got a 6 days, 6 nights, 7 days free visit to America tour. You know, free tour, 6 nights, 7 days. So they had gone, they enjoyed everything, and they came back, and his husband is so happy. We had such a good time, you know, so amazing, this, that, and his wife was sitting and sulking somewhere. So he said, what happened to you? Why are you sulking? Did we not have such a great time? We went out there. So she says, yeah, that was all fine. But, you know, I just came to know the neighbor took his wife on his own expense. You took me free. What is the point of that? Till now, she was very happy that they went, good time they had. The moment she came to know that neighbor took the wife on his own expense and went, now this lady is unhappy. Think about it. So jealousy, it spoils everything. So negating these negativities is important. How do I negate the negativities? All these negativities are positives in the negative direction. I have to bring it back. So substitute it with the opposite of it. Kama should become nishkama. Selfishness must become selflessness. For that, inspiring ideal will help. Krodha, we must have empathy, compassion. Lobha, cultivate contentment. Moha, cultivate clarity. Mother, cultivate humility. And Matsarya, cultivate admiration. Don't be jealous of people, admire them for what they have. If I cultivate the positive qualities, the negativities I can negate. I will be happy. Some of you must have studied this Manashodhanam. In that it comes from Bhagavatam. These shlokas are quoted in Manashodhanam. Asankalpa jayat kamam krodham kama vivarjanat. All the 6 impurities, there are beautiful points given from Bhagavatam. So negating the negativities is important. As a seeker, it will help in sadhana also. Not only in happiness in the world where we are living, but even in sadhana. So N is for negating the negativities. E is to exercise mindfulness. What Gurudev used to say, bring your mind where your hands are. To learn to do one thing at a time. Not more than one thing at a time. Because the mind which does one thing at a time is the mind which will be able to contemplate also without distraction and experience the joy of samadhi. A mind which is distracted can't experience joy of samadhi. Vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. In the Gita it comes, 2nd chapter. One should cultivate this single pointedness, doing one thing at a time. Some emergencies there, I have to do more than one, it's okay, but it should not become lifestyle. For many, it is a lifestyle. They can't remain with doing only one thing. So they have to eat food and watch TV. While doing jogging, they have to listen to music. No, Swami, what else can we do? Focus on the passing breeze, focus on the body, focus on the movement, focus on the breathing pattern. There are so many things to focus on. The best part is we will do all this and then attend a special seminar on living in the moment. A full day you could have lived in the moment, Baba. But full day I am not living in the moment consciously and then going separately to attend living in the moment. And in between sessions, I am not living in the moment there. Again, I am doing multitasking there. So driving while talking on phone, listening to music and doing my exercise, watching the television, eating food, listening to some music, doing some writing. A lot of these examples are there. Browsing, sitting on the pot. What an unhealthy place to sit and browse. But one will do that. Earlier days, people used to have library in the bathroom. Why do you need library inside, Baba? Go finish quickly, come out, then sit and read somewhere else. But no, they will have. So one thing at a time, very, very important. Because when we do one thing at a time, the mind becomes focused and quiet. And as we said earlier, quiet mind is a happy mind. We unnecessarily think that we need too many things to be in a certain way to be happy. We don't. Especially in today's world with so much technology available, we think technologically when we are stimulated, then only we can be happy. And how strange is that? We are making human beings like robots and we are making robots like human beings with artificial intelligence and all that. So robots can have feeling, robot can have understanding, robot can make decisions, and we are becoming mechanical. So doing one thing at a time, exercising mindfulness is very, very important from spiritual sadhana also. S is for Swadharma. Do what you love. Based on our temperament. What is our temperament? I should find out. What am I really made for? Based on my gunas. Those are, all of you are study group members, so you know Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, these are our gunas. And a combination of these makes us who we are. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are not castes. And that's not meant for oppression or discrimination. That is meant to understand our aptitude. What today people call aptitude is Varna Vyavastha of the past. So I should know what is my aptitude, what am I made for. And that is not limited only to career. It is for everything in life actually. If I am a person who is an introvert, I must learn to be an introvert and happy with that. I don't have to fit in and go into socializing and gathering and try to become flashy and try to become very glamorous and impress people. Not required. In the Gita, Bhagavan says, Paradharma bhayavaha. That is paradharma. That will lead to more fear and sorrow. There are people who have that temperament. Let them do that. I don't need to condemn them, but I am not like that, so I don't need to do that. A person who is made for, let us say, as an artist, let us say he loves to do drawing and painting. That person doesn't have to be an engineer. That person should be doing art only because that comes to that person naturally. Same way in spiritual path. There may be people who may be following yoga marga and doing, all proper asanas and twisting their body and living it, doing complicated asanas and staying in that pose. Maybe I'm not made for that. Maybe I'm made for Jnana Marg. Maybe I'm made for Bhakti Marg. Doesn't matter. I should follow what is my core temperament. Happiness comes when I align myself with my temperament. Even in Bhakti Marg, suppose we say, some people are good in singing, so they will sing bhajan. Some people meditate on the form of Bhagwan. Some people serve Bhagwan as the whole world around them. Depends on what is my temperament. So whether it is in personal sadhana, whether it is in relationships, whether it is at professional front, in every aspect I should live as per my swadharma, what I am made for. And of course I can learn new things, adapt myself, and swadharma also can change over a period of time. As we learn, as our mind manifests more different vasanas, our swadharma also appears to change. There's nothing wrong with that. But at any point in time, I should know what is my swadharma, so that I am not trying to just imitate or trying to just copy somebody. The key for happiness is originality and being one's own self. Be yourself. You know, this beautiful saying was there. I am created original, don't die as a duplicate. Very nice saying. Now, I'm just going to share one small video with you here. It's a very nice song on this being oneself. Just give me a minute.
I just wanna be me. If I lose a few fringe people that don't love who I am, well, that's a good thing. I'm proud to be who I am, cause that's a good thing. I'm gonna be who I am, that's how I should think. I'd rather walk with the few that love me, the few that want me, for me and who I really am. Won't pretend to fit in just like the sheeps and lambs. Pretend to be who I'm not, don't think I really can. Fit in, I'd rather fit out. No talk, I'd rather stick out. Work hard and let the enemy out. Take charge, putting the enemies down. I'm letting go of all inner doubt, cause we all know that with this life, there's only one shot, you can't live this twice. So I'm letting go of all resistance, cause there's nothing worse than living with a fake existence. Always being someone the world wants me to be. Always doing the things that others want to see. But that can't be me no more. That just can't be me, no. Now that fake me goes down the drain. I got my watch, it's time for change. And for those who are meant to be, follow me on this journey. I just wanna be myself. Live a life trapped on a video, yeah. I just wanna be myself. Forever real, never being superficial, yeah. That makes it easy to be, and this I guarantee. Living a lie. I don't know. I guess living but not living a life. Yeah, that seems about right. Cause life's a gift. I don't wanna waste it. The real me, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm original, no copy and pasting. Feel it inside, we're all creative. I just wanna express myself. I'm not gonna oppress myself no longer. If the others don't like it, well, they are meant to walk with me no longer. But the ones that support, they build me stronger. Not like the ones that abort or leave. I wanna live this life fully. I'm gonna live this life as the truth.
I'd much rather be myself than be another. I am who I am and I know there is no other. I'd much rather be myself than be another. Cause I'm one of one, after me there is no other. So I give hope to myself, I find strength in myself. Don't wanna be no one else, nah. You can't tell me that I'm less, I determine my own wealth, nah. I'm supporting myself, motivating myself, nah. So ask me who I wanna be. I just wanna be myself. Live a life trapped on a video, yeah. I just wanna be myself.
lane. New book, time for a new page. New you even with the old name, cause you gotta love yourself truly. Look deep inside for the inner beauty. And you really owe it to yourself, cause no one will love you if you don't love yourself. Look, you're not a faker, you're a creator. Stand tall like skyscrapers, a risk taker. So don't worry about the haters, cause in a couple years they all rate ya. It's a major key, set yourself free. Get rid of any old mentality, cause you're stronger than you used to be. Take the stage, this is your new me.
I want to tell you this one thing. Be yourself. What does that mean? When you can look in the mirror and know exactly who you are and exactly what you are and appreciate that and love that, that's it. Be yourself. It's your identity. Nurture it, because it really is the biggest blessing we have. You only get one shot. You only get one shot.
So that was a nice song. We get one shot and be oneself. Yeah, so the recording we will put up on Mumbai Chinmaya Mission YouTube channel. You can see there. So what he said, when you look into the mirror and you know exactly who you are, what you are, and you appreciate that, that is happiness. We don't have to be like others. We can adjust, we can adapt, all those things are fine, but we don't have to lose our identity and completely become something who we are not. So that is Swadharma. And last S is surrender the ego. See, happiness comes when ultimate happiness, the goal of life, we achieve only when we drop the ego completely. Whichever path, karma, bhakti, jnana, Raj Yoga we adopt, surrender the ego. Even before realizing that absolute happiness, in the small things of life also, when we are able to let go of the ego, we will be happy. A lot of fights in the life are because of egos fights only. Each one makes it a big ego issue, prestige issue, I versus you, and I have to prove myself right and all that, so. And in petty things also. One has to let go of the ego. I'm not saying let go of one's principles, but don't take things personally. If I give an advice and that is not taken, doesn't mean that I will never give advice anymore. If I tell something to my child and my child doesn't listen, I should not feel that, oh, did I do anything wrong in my upbringing? How is my child not listening to me today? One starts doubting oneself because one is taking some things personally. So even in small things, one should stop taking things personally. One of the signs of a person who is progressing spiritually is the self-importance becomes lesser and one stops taking things personally. One takes things more objectively. Otherwise, small things one is taking personally. One sent a message and one saw that blue tick also, the person has read, but that person has not replied. Finished. One feels so offended saying, oh God, why is this person not replying? The person may need some time to think, or the person may be busy, or the person may think that, I will respond when I'm more objective. It can be anything. But we will take it personally saying, oh God, this person doesn't love me. Did I do anything wrong? Did I hurt this person in some way? Baapre, how much ego pressure, emotion pressure we go into. Surrender the ego. And the formula that Gurudev gave, ego can be surrendered when our desires also become little lesser. So I will end with this. The formula for happiness that Gurudev gave, many of you know it, you have studied. Happiness is equal to number of desires fulfilled by number of desires entertained. When I surrender my desires, then I become more happy. It's not that fulfilling more and more desires, I'll become more and more happy. Because the more desires I fulfill, the more they get added also. So instead of trying to increase the numerator, I should try to reduce the denominator. And if the denominator becomes 0, happiness becomes infinite. So surrender the desire, surrender the ego. The Gita shloka is Vihaya kaman yas sarvan umams charati nisprahaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashanti madhi gacchati. Second chapter, 72nd verse, last verse. Not last verse, 71st verse. So this is the secret. When one drops the selfish desires and one becomes selfless, nisprahaha, desireless, free from attachment, nirmama, nirahankara, free from ego, that person sashanti madhi gacchati, experiences peace. So to conclude the acronym, without seeing your notes, you have to tell now. All of you are seeing the notes. H is for holistic happiness, holistic growth and integration. A is for acceptance. P is for positive outlook or positive self-talk. Next P is for performance of duty for the sake of duty. I is for inspiring ideal. N is for negating negativities. E is for exercising mindfulness. S is for swadharma. S is for surrender the desires, selfish desires and ego. 9 points. Wish you all great happiness while living in this world and experience happiness as the goal of life also. May all of us experience both temporary happiness and permanent happiness. Thank you very much. Yes, go ahead.
There are no questions.
Any
May we
questions?
ask?
As you can raise your hand. Majority is happy that talk has ended.
On behalf of all of us, Sunita Mishra will offer a vote of thanks to Swamiji.
On behalf of this virtual gathering, Sevika Manju Malkani ji, her 5 study groups, Vinita Asrani ji, Anjali Dalal ji, and their study groups, I express my deep gratitude to Swami Swatmanand ji for the blessing of his presence and his enlightening talk on the mantra for happiness. For years, we have been searching for happiness, and our quest has always been for Paramananda Prapti, no less. But where is happiness? Is it a goal or the means? Is it in an object? Is it a journey or a destination? This evening, Swamiji has dispelled our delusions and shed clarity on this. In our quest for happiness, the mind often takes us for a roller coaster ride of emptiness and craving, oscillating endlessly. Milton wrote in Paradise Lost these celebrated lines: "The mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven." Beyond and above that, the Bhagavad Gita tells us, "Ashantasya kutah sukham." How can one who lacks peace be happy? An integrated body, mind, and intellect can contemplate, be peaceful. Yoga is the way forward to make the mind quiet. T20, 20 minutes each devoted to the BMI is necessary. Swamiji has given us the acronym for happiness: H for holistic growth, integration, yoga, the aligned BMI. A for acceptance, which is insistence, and resistance is always sorrow. So we have to give up those things. Agama, Payano, Anitya. P for the positive outlook, which is essential to be happy. Defeat the defeatist in you. Uddhare tatmana atmanam. Lift yourself by yourself, as the Bhagavad Gita says. P, the performance of duty for the sake of duty, with no thought of the result, knowing that our evolution is in the journey. I, for the inspiring ideal, and for a spiritual seeker, moksha is the highest ideal. N for negating negativities. Removing the impurities is essential to experiencing happiness. E for exercise mindfulness. Bring your mind where your hands are to do one thing at a time and cultivate single-pointedness. S for Swadharma. Do what you love based on your temperament, on your combination of the gunas. And S for surrender the ego, be objective, stop taking things personally. If happiness is the number of desires fulfilled upon the number of desires entertained, then only when desires are reduced to naught will happiness be infinite. Happiness is a state of quietude of the mind. It exists within. It is our true nature. As the self, we are Anand. We are bliss already. What we are seeking, we are. On a lighter note, Gurudev Swami Chinmaya ji often joked that happiness is like chutney and sorrow is the main course in the world. With our newfound clarity on the issue, let us try to make happiness the main course in our lives. After all, you only get one shot. As we conclude this momentous virtual meeting, I express our sincere gratitude to Manju ji, Vinita ji, Anjali ji, all our Sevikas for being our anchor in a shifting world. Thank you once again, Swamiji, for dispelling our doubts, lighting our path, and kindling our understanding. We are so grateful to you. Hari Om.
Vimla Kacheria will now take the pledge.
We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and the values, within and without us. We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country and the service of the Lord of Lords and devotion to the people is devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om.
Conclude with the Chinmaya Aarti by Alka Sadarangani. May we request that everyone stays on for a few minutes after the Aarti till the closing prayers are done.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की, आरती सद्गुरु की। चरणों में उनके शांति समाए, शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए, पाप ताप संताप हरण की, आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया, धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया, शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की, आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। सिद्ध बाड़ी की तपो भूमि में, नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे, भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की, आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। श्री सद्गुरु नाथ महाराज की जय।
For those who would like to offer Guru Dakshina, please note the PayU link is in the chat box. May we have your attention for a few announcements about forthcoming September events with Swamiji. 2 steps closer is a single-day interactive workshop for the youth designed to discover our innate uniqueness and based on the concept of Swadharma on September 4th.
That is tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, yes.
And the age group is increased up to 28.
Okay, sir.
17 to 28 now it is. Yesterday only we have increased.
The Ganesh Chaturthi program is from the 10th till the 14th of September. You are all invited, and if anyone would like to be the Aarti or the Prasad Yajman, please do approach us. The ABCD Yagna, Achieve the Best, Cultivate Detachment, will be for 5 consecutive dates, starting from the 21st to the 25th of September. All are welcome. It will be live on Zoom, though prior registration is required. Please do spread the word for the programs and join in. May we all continue to stay inspired by our very dynamic Swamiji. Kanchan Parekh will now offer the closing prayers.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhavave. Om Astoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.